guys, this is Mayor Ashley, and I'm doing a walkthrough on my town, Aokigahara. For those who do not know, Aokigahara is a forest at the bottom of Mount Fiji over Japan. It is also known as the suicide forest because of all the suicides that happened there. They counted up to about 1,200 before they stopped counting because there's such a high population for that. There is the Golden Gate Bridge is up there along with that kind of count of suicides as well with a river out in China. I can't name it right now, but that is one of many places that has high suicide rate. So, and this town is intended for those who are have mental illness and they just need a help just to get by, and just to remember that bad times are just times that are bad. So let's get started. As you can see, it's set in June, and it's because of all the hygias. Oops, I reset last time. I don't remember. So back to when I was saying, the time site is set in June because that's when the blue hydras bloom, and blue has a lot of symbolism when it comes to suicide awareness. And as you see, there's like a ton of blue roses, blue bushes, and even in the houses, there's a bunch of blue, and it's just to symbolize all the awareness for suicide. I have 3 signs in the town. They're all exactly the same. They're mostly for signs that are actually in the forest, in the real life forest. The authorities know about the suicide rate in the real forest, and they actually have a sign out there that says something similar with the Japanese National Suicide Hotline. And so this is one of the spots, and the sign says life is an important thing we see from our parents. Think about your parents, your siblings, your children, and your friends. Don't suffer alone. Please talk to someone. National Suicide Hotline, 1-800-784-8433. I will post it in the description for those who are actually in need of that number. There's also a number where you can text into. I will post that in the description below too. And I like to put them in the spots where you enter the town, whether it's through a dream or through this train station. I have one by Ukumu's house. Ukumu in Japanese is nightmare, and I have that reason why I have a nightmare house is to describe what it's like to have a mental illness. This is Ukumu's house. And right down the street or the forest is another sign. Since Aokigahara is in Japan, there's a lot of Zen public projects around town. The town hall and the train station are both the Zen ones. And you can actually camp in the forest. You can actually get lost easily in the forest because compasses don't work in the forest, mostly because of the iron that's in the foil, and it throws it off. I've seen people use caution tape to find their way around. I have a lighthouse and a windmill for suicide patrol. It's a group of people that go around and try to help people either talk them out of suicide or even bring out the bodies if needed. There's a bunch of things to do in Aokigahara, and it's actually a really nice forest. Despite what it's known for, this is a graveyard dedicated, or one of the graveyards dedicated to suicide. Those who have been lost to suicide. There's a little town over in Japan that's actually full of scarecrows, and I figured I can work that in. And then there's gonna be shoes along all of the cliffs. As for jumping, one of the many ways to commit suicide. It is number one reason why, or one of the number one ways to do it over at the Golden Gate Bridge. In Aokigahara, the number one way is by hanging. And then this is a park, one of the many parks in town. I also have a little village where like all the villages are, and where you can go and go to the town hall, retail. I figured I'd put everything all in one spot so that it doesn't take away from the rest of the town. And there's gonna be another little park right down here where you can go have a picnic and relax a little. There's gonna be another park where we're gonna go through over by Kumu's house. I try to even though it is the nightmare house, I try to not take away from the meaning of this town, so I try to surround it by things that will help. And then right behind the park is another graveyard. There's a bed of blue roses, again, for suicide awareness and prevention. And then, if you dig these little things up, you can dig up a gaiwood. Gaiwood is actually a Japanese tradition. It started back in 545 AD, or a little bit before that. It's clay figurines where people will bury for loved ones that has passed on. I figured that would be a good representation of what this town is about. So let's start with the houses. I am playing with my Bayan. Bayan in Japanese is hospital, and that's what the reason why I did it a hospital one, because that's where people usually go to first stop to go to recover. And so we have a little like welcome area, just like you would see in a hospital. And then this all three rooms on the main room are all hospital rooms. The better looking one will be in the back, so I'm just going to show you that one just for time's sake. Supa's house is going to be the same, which is going to be the next house. So you got like a little IV, little hospital bed, little scale, privacy, and a little waiting room out here. Again, the other two are exactly the same, just for time's sakes. Oops, out of habit. So, you're gonna go up to the attic, and in the attic, there's the blue set. Like I said before, there's a lot of blue for awareness and prevention. And then, as you can see, there's a lot of chocolate cakes. It's supposed to help your mood. not Akuma's, but Supa's house has a room that's similar to that. So in the basement, in Mayor Ryan's house is a morgue, what I call the morgue, and you can never be too delicate with this situation. So that is why there's so much graveyards in the town. I of all the little morgues or graveyards, that one's my favorite because it looks pretty despite what it is. Alright, we're gonna go over to not Mayor, but Supa's house. Supa in Japanese is spa, and reason why I have a spa house is because people usually go to the treatment center right after, or therapy, intensive therapy right after they try to so they can get better. So this is like a little waiting room to check into, and a little gift shop back here. Again, the 3 side rooms are all spas, and I'm just gonna show you the center one for time's sake, because this video will go on and on and on. So a little spa going on, little relaxation bed, little baths, little sinks. I think that's wash bin. I think that's what it's called. So we're gonna head up to the attic now, and in the attic is the sake set. I hate it when it goes through the chairs like that. Goes out of the way. So this is a sake set. The reason why I have the sake set is because people who have depression often comes off as lazy because they're unmotivated to even get out of bed to do anything, let alone clean. So it might come off as lazy, but it really isn't. There's just no motivation to do anything. So we're gonna head down to the basement, and in the basement, it's gonna be like the chocolate cakes up in Mayor Brian's attic, where it's gonna be a bunch of food where it proves your food. So a bunch of fruit and then a little snack shop right over here. So we're gonna head over to Nigaru's house. Nigaru is to get away in Japanese. Hopefully I'm saying all these Japanese names right, or words right. And I don't know much Japanese other than what I've done research for. So this house is gonna be to get away. So the main focus is to see what it's like to get away via habits that you do. So like gaming is a big one, obviously, since I'm playing one right now. And then this one is gonna be a music room where you can listen to music or even perform and have a little session going on. And then another way to help relieve or try to get away from your mental illness is reading or writing. So I made a little library in the back room. I try to do that as often as I can. Read, mostly. It's obviously often I do write, though. I never finish my stories for some reason. And then another way to do it is through working out. It actually releases endorphins, so it helps a lot more than you think. So the attic, we're gonna head up to the attic. And in the attic, there's a little aquarium. A lot of people like to either fish or go out and go to like a fish store and get fish for their own aquarium at home. And then we're gonna head down to the basement, and the basement is in represents the #1 way to commit suicide in Aokigahara, which is hanging. So these little coats looking best looking things are actually Japanese coats. I tried to present Japan and the forest as much as I can in detail. So there's a little picture on the wall with hanging with a rope and tree standouts is to represent hanging. And so we're gonna head over to Akumu's house. Akumu is nightmare in Japanese, and I'm using that house to show what it's like to have depression and anxiety and other related mental illnesses. In the first room that we're gonna approach, it's not necessarily the relate to depression and mental illness, but to the forest itself. There are dolls hanging around the forest, and rumor has it that it's a portal to demons. I do not want to try that. Not a big demon person, not at all. So this is the downside of depression: is you fighting your own demons inside. That's why there's a lot of like a warrior and Frankenstein, Halloween kind of things. I'm excited for Halloween coming up. And then the next room, the center room, is the opposite of the last room, which is the upside, where you're battling and winning your depression. A little lighter note. Alright, so we're gonna head to the next room, which is the fear of the future room. And he has a college set because college is the perfect way to represent the future. And the future is very scary for everybody, but with depression it escalates the feeling of the fear of the future. And then you're gonna head up to the attic. And in the attic is gonna be, this is actually my town, it might be spacing, but there's so many different rooms in each house that I forget which house or which room is which. This is the fear of losing people. And there's one tissue box and a bunch of villager pictures. On the back of each video pictures, it's like the villager's birthday and then something else, and then the catchphrase. Blanca has a really good catchphrase. Born on February 8th, Aquarius. Favorite saying is, every face tells a story. And it's true because you don't really know what's going on with everybody, and everybody has their own story to tell. And you might not even know somebody's story just by looking at them. You might never know they have a mental illness. It's a silent killer. And then in the basement is the future of finance, or the fear of finance room. The #1 reason people from the age of 18 and 25 commit suicide is because of finances or lack thereof. So yeah, that's my town for you. The reason why I made this town is because I've read articles on how Animal Crossing has helped others with their mental illness, and I became obsessed with the forest because of how the story behind it, and I figured that this would be a perfect way to help others know that their times are just times that are bad, and that they are not alone in this world. This this, this town has been appraised by the offices of Andrew Cuomo and To White Love on Her Arms. It's also been on my local news. I will post a link to the local news segment. And it's probably going to be at the very end of this video too, along with the letters from the offices of Andrew Cuomo and To White Love on Her Arms. And I want to thank you all for tuning in and helping and helping me spread the word of suicide awareness and prevention. I wish you all the best of luck, and remember to call and seek help if anybody needs it. The suicide hotline is 1-800-784-8433. And remember that bad times are just times that are bad.
A new leaf using video games to curb teen suicide. It's an idea that's being used right here in Rochester, but how does it work? News 10 NBC digs deeper. Hey, a very interesting story to share with you this morning. Gaming for a purpose. Suicide rates are skyrocketing across the country. Data shows, in fact, on average, there are 123 suicides every day.
A local woman is using a video game to raise awareness for mental health. New this morning, Casey Jones got a look at how it works. And Casey, this is a game for Nintendo?
That's right. It's called Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's been around for a while, and you can make your own town with the game, and you play as mayor, making your own rules for the town. Ashley McGrain's town is geared towards suicide awareness. It's dark at times, but it's a harsh reality for so many people suffering from mental illness. Mental illness is centered around Aokihara, which means the suicide forest. It's a real place in Japan, and it's a popular place where people in Japan go to commit suicide. McGrain has suffered from depression, and gaming helped her escape. She wants people to know they are not alone.
I read a lot of articles about how this game has helped people with depression and anxiety, and I figured that I can help out with that and just create like a town that's based off of that and dedicate it to the people that have depression and anxiety and make them feel like they're not alone in this world.
The suicide hotline number pops up throughout the game. People all across the globe are playing Animal Crossing in the Aokigahara town. To hear more about how you can play the game, you can log on to our website. That's WHEC.com, and there are links to McGrain's tutorials right under this